Alright, hi everyone and welcome to today's class. Today I thought we would do a wall yin class. So basically what you're going to need is your mat, a wall, preferably a wall that's wide enough so that when you open your legs into a straddle you don't hit anything. Mine is not, so I will show you variations for that. And then if you have a pillow or two or a blanket, that would be fantastic, just so that we can make sure we are as comfortable as possible. So I have my pillow here. So in yin, we are working into the fascia of the body. So the interconnective tissue that connects our muscles, skin, organs, everything. This is an element of the body that is crazy important for flexibility, overall well-being. There's been studies done that found that fascia and allowing the fluid within the fascia to move helps with chronic illness and pain as well. So just some cool benefits for you. Today, to start, I am going to get you to find a comfortable seated position with your back against the wall. So whether that means bringing your pillow against the wall so that you have something comfy to sit on, or just sitting against your mat, whatever works best for you. So whenever you're ready, I will meet you there. So I'm just going to sit in a nice cross-legged position so that I can have my palms up. If it's more comfortable for you to have your legs extended, feel free and do that, whatever feels best in your body. So sitting up nice and tall. If it's comfortable, you can rest your head against the wall as well. Whenever you are ready, we can start by shutting down our eyes or just gazing softly in front of us. While we're sitting here, just really focusing on grounding down into our mat. So noticing all the points of contact your body has with the floor and the wall. Noticing if you're bearing any weight in these areas, if you're uncomfortable. On our next out breath, I want you to relax all the muscles in your back. So as we exhale, the shoulders are going to drop down towards our sit bones, really using that wall to lean into. We can start to bring our attention to the breath. Begin by noticing your inhales. Notice where you feel this breath in the body. Paying attention to if it's short and sweet or long and calming. Start to lengthen your inhales just slightly. We can start bringing our awareness to our exhale now. Noticing as we breathe out if we sink a little bit deeper into our mat. or if our breath is getting stuck in a certain part of the body. I invite you to elongate your exhale just slightly, trying to make it as long, if not longer, than our inhale. Allow the breath to slowly return to its natural rhythm. As we do so, we can slowly start waking up our body by wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe rocking our head from side to side if it feels good. Whenever you're ready, slowly opening up your eyes, and we're going to move through the first posture. So if you have a pillow, we are going to bring it up against the wall, just like so. So we're going to come into a chest stretch here. So if it feels good, well, you can bring it slightly away from the wall. We're just gonna pop a knee down, I guess, yeah, this one, and bring one knee up. So from here, we're going to rotate. So my right knee is up, sorry, my left knee is down. We're going to rotate so that the left arm is touching the wall. From here, we're just going to allow our torso to twist forward. So we're going to be opening up the chest here. We're going to hold this posture for 3 minutes. I'm going to be using my watch to do so. All right. So whenever you're ready, hop into that posture. If it feels better to bend at the elbow, that is also an option here. As long as you're feeling a stretch across the chest, maybe into the front of your shoulder. So for those of us that work desk jobs or find ourselves sitting a lot in the day, you might already be feeling this quite intensely. So as we move through this posture and the rest of them, I would like you to try and find a spot that is comfortably uncomfortable, meaning that you can hang out here for an extended period of time and you feel sensation but not pain. If at any point you start to feel pinching, tingling, radiating pain in any part of the body, please ease out of that posture as we are hitting compression. Just really listening to our body as we move through this is super important. You may notice as we approach halfway in each posture that you find your body can move a little bit deeper. So when that happens, I invite you to play with it tentatively. Don't just swing into a full split or anything crazy, but just pushing our body slightly. By doing so, we increase the rate of fluid moving through the fascia. Just one more minute. Alright, we can slowly begin moving out of this posture. So first, rotating our torso towards the wall, guiding that hand down by our side and coming back. Giving those shoulders a wiggle if it feels good. Making sure we're moving those fingers as well. So we're just going to move to the other side now. So I'm just going to turn around here. So this time, popping my right knee on the cushion and my left knee up against the wall. Snap, crackle, pop. We are going to rotate our torso towards the wall, so towards the right. Popping our arm up either straight or cactus on the wall. And then we're just going to twist our torso forward again. So I always have my palm down when I do this, thumb up. All right, and your 3 minutes has started. So take a second here just to check in with your body and notice if your shoulder's hiking up by your ear. If it is, take a second, deep breath in, and as we exhale, we're just going to let that shoulder and the arm drop a little bit. You might notice a different sensation a little bit lower in the chest. This is normal. We are approaching halfway, so you might start to feel like you can move a little bit deeper, or you're starting to feel a lot more pain. And in that case, we are just going to ease up a little bit by moving our shoulders away from the wall. Another option is to come into cactus your arm, or rotate the shoulders slightly more towards the wall. Just 60 seconds left. If at this point your fingers are starting to tingle, feel free to move them. Yin is a practice of stagnation but not stillness, so making those micro movements is perfectly okay. Alright, slowly coming out of this, we're going to turn our torso towards the wall, allow that hand to drop down by our side, return, give those hands a good wiggle. Good job, guys. That one was hard. Alright, so next we're going to move into an IT band stretch, again, taking your counter pose or wiggling those fingers as much as possible, and I will continue to guide you into the postures, but if you need to stay even in a child's pose or whatever, take as much time as you need to really listen to your body, because yin is insanely intense. So like I said, we're going to move into the next posture, which is an IT band stretch. So in this case, I'm actually going to use my pillow for my head just because I have hardwood. You don't have to, but there's always an option. I will show you the different variations as we move into it. So moving my pillow slightly, probably like 1.5 feet away from the wall, I'm just going to come lay down so that my right side is against the wall. From here, this is going to take a little bit of play. We're going to lift up the left leg, cross it over the body so that the foot is touching the wall. If it's quite hard for you to maintain this, feel free to bring a hand under that leg for just a little bit of support. We're not using the hand other than for our brain, pretty much. If you feel like it's hard on your low back, you also have the option to bring your pillow or a rolled up blanket under this glute, for the left glute, sorry, for a little extra support. So from here, we're just going to chill out. We're going to be here for 3 minutes. So I will start our time right now. So for this pose, you should be feeling a stretch on the side of the leg, the side of the left leg here, into our IT band. You may be feeling this into your hamstring, depending on where you're tight. I know if my foot is flat against the wall, I feel it all the way down my low leg and around my ankle. Some of us might even be feeling this into our low back. One thing that's important to point out here is that we are not locking out our knee. So we do want to micro bend in that knee. That just protects the joint, I guess, itself. It's not incorrect to have your knee completely straight, but just to err on the side of caution, because I cannot be there with you to make adjustments in person. We'll just stick with this for now. You guys are over halfway, so if you feel like you need to ease up a bit, just scooting those hips in towards the wall slightly, moving the leg up. And if you want more, scooting those hips away from the wall, and the foot will come down towards the baseboards. If this is severely uncomfortable for you, or you have any low back problems, you also have the option to take the foot off the wall, just bending through the knee and using our right hand here to come put a little bit of pressure. Trying as much as possible to keep those hips grounded. Alright, slowly easing out of this. So what I recommend is bringing our right hand under our left knee and just kind of helping it off the wall there. We are going to remove any props that we have stuck under us and just lay out flat for a second. If it feels good, you can wiggle your hips from side to side, maybe bend those knees, bringing the soles of the feet down to the ground. Awesome. That one is quite intense, so take as much time as you need before transitioning into the other side. I don't know about you guys, but every time I do yoga at home, I realize how gross my floors are. So whenever you're ready, you can start to set yourself up for the other side. So this time I am going to lay down so that the left side of my body is against the wall. So again, about 1.5 feet from the wall. To start, it's just a guideline, obviously, scoot to either way if it feels comfortable. We're going to bring that right leg up nice and high as if we're walking on the ceiling, and just allow it to fall over until the foot meets the wall. So this is where we make our adjustments, whether you're scooting in a little bit more or further away. I'm going to scoot in. And again, taking our props to help hold up that leg so that we can really enjoy the full 3 minutes. I'll give you a second to get set up here. Alright, and once you're ready, our time has started. So just 3 minutes. Depending on how you are feeling on the other side, you might be cursing at me because you are in pain. Trying to connect with our breath, allowing us to feel all the sensations in the body. We are at our halfway point, so if you can push yourself a little bit further, please do, but don't feel obligated. Listen to your body. So again, you should be feeling a stretch on the outside of the right leg, maybe into our hamstring, low back, and again, maybe down the lower leg and around the ankle. Just one more minute. Alright, so taking that left hand as we come out of this, we're just going to put it under that right leg and just assist it while moving any props out from under us. Again, just coming to lay flat. It feels good. You might be feeling a coolness flood through our body as we come into our counter posture, and that is chi moving, or the fluid that is in our fascia, hyaluronic acid. So that is normal, don't be freaked out by that. If it feels good, you can bring the soles of the feet down to the floor as well. Just release that low back. Wiggle those hips from side to side. Awesome. All right, whenever you're ready, we're going to move into our next posture, which is dragonfly with legs up the wall. So I'm going to show you a quick variation in case you have a sensitive low back or sensitive pelvis. So first we're going to bring that pillow right up against the wall. It's super awkward to get into, but once we're there, it feels delicious. So we're just going to pop our hips on that cushion, send the legs up the wall, and come to lay down on our mat. So you might have to pick yourself up, maybe do a scoot so that our bum is nice and close. It doesn't have to be touching, but close is ideal. So the full posture of dragonfly is to have our legs spread open nice and wide, but as you can see, I hit another wall here. So one of the options we have is to bring one foot down so that it's touching the wall, and allow the other leg to fall open. If you're already feeling a lot of pain in your groin here, feel free to take another cushion. In this case, I'm just going to use this one to help support that leg. Some of us are hypermobile, and so this is an option that is probably best for us. I am going to be doing this version, so if you want to follow that with me, otherwise we will hold full dragonfly up against the wall for 6 minutes. So I would recommend doing half legs just so it's less intense. All right, I'm going to start your time. So while we're here, we should be feeling a stretch in the inner thigh and the groin. Your feet can be relaxed, pointed any direction that feels comfortable for you. We do want to have both hips grounded though, so making that adjustment if you need to. And just allowing yourself to completely relax here. This is a very inactive practice. Perfect, we are halfway there. So if you can push yourself to go a little bit deeper, that inner thigh isn't screaming at you too much, you can just slowly walk that foot down towards the floor a little bit. And if you want more support, bring those legs up just slightly. You can even use the hands if you don't have a pillow to support those legs, or that one leg, whichever option you're taking. Just 20 more seconds. Alright, to come out of this posture, we are going to bring our right hand down to our right leg and just give it a little help coming all the way up the wall. You might notice a little bit of shaking. If it feels good, you can drop those knees into our chest, bringing the legs together. So again, feeling some coolness in the foot or the leg is normal. Awesome job. Now if you're like me and you don't have a ton of wall space, we are just going to scoot over. Fantastic. So from here we're going to bring that right foot down towards our glute as if we're walking on the wall, and the left leg is going to fall open into our dragonfly, or in this case half dragonfly. I'm going to use a pillow here to support my leg just because I do have a lot of mobility and it hurts. Alright. Hope everyone is comfortable because we are starting our time now. Just 3 minutes here, so allowing ourselves to melt down into our mat, connecting back with our breath. We are halfway, so if you can move a little bit deeper, feel free. Staying where you are is perfectly okay. Just one more minute. Alright, great job guys. So bringing that left hand again under that left thigh, just slowly guiding it up, bringing the soles of the feet down to the floor and the legs to the midline, giving ourselves a nice big hug. If you need to take a break, feel free to push yourself away from the wall and just come lay flat on your back. I am going to not use my pillow for this one, but again, for any wall posture, you always have the option of bringing it under your sacrum just for a little extra cushion. I'm sorry if my dog barks, there is someone clearly outside, I can see her twitching. So once you're ready, bringing the legs all the way up the wall. For this one, I like to be a little bit away from the wall, so I'd say I'm probably about 4 to 6 inches. So what I'm going to do is bend my left knee. I might even have to scoot back a little more, so play it with your body. I'm bending my left knee so that my foot is planted on the wall. And from here, I'm going to cross my right ankle over my left knee, coming into a figure 4 stretch. So this is the posture we're going to be taking for just 3 minutes. Again, 3 minutes is my favorite for most postures. I'm about to start your time, so get comfortable. You should be feeling a stretch into that right glute, maybe into your hamstring, IT band a little bit on that left side. If you do want a little bit more, you can either scoot your bum closer to the wall, or I actually find it more comfortable to take my right hand on my right knee and just give it a little push. I do really dig my elbow into the ground here so that I'm finding a position that is stable and consistent throughout these 3 minutes. If you find this uncomfortable in any way, you can always take that foot up the wall just a little bit. That relieves some of the pressure, and taking the foot lower if you want a little bit more. Halfway there, guys, you're doing awesome. So if you can take that foot a little bit lower, push into that right leg a little bit more. You might be noticing a lot of extra length in that glute muscle here. I find this is a posture that most people can ease into pretty well. Less than a minute. Alright, great job, guys. So coming out of this pose, we're going to take that left foot, we're just going to guide it up the wall until we're able to remove that right ankle from across our knee and also bring it up. So just coming into waterfall here is our counter posture, or if it feels good, you can hug your knees into your chest. Give those hips a little wiggle. Fantastic. So starting from a waterfall position again, so feet up the wall. I'm going to keep my hips where they were just because that was comfortable for me, but if you need to make an adjustment, feel free. We're going to guide that right foot down so that the sole of the foot is on the wall. The left ankle is going to cross our right knee this time, coming into a figure four on our left side. So for me, I'm feeling a lot more on this side than I was on my other side. So I'm just going to take a couple scoots back and guide that foot up the wall a little bit just to find a little bit of a more comfortable position. All right, I have started your time. So again, taking that left hand and pushing into the left knee if that feels good. Hi, Stella. Great job, guys. So coming up to halfway again, dropping that foot that's on the wall a little bit lower if you want some more sensation, and bringing it a little bit higher if you want less. Feeling that deep stretch in the glute. One more minute. we're going to slowly move out of this. So taking that right foot and guiding it up the wall until our left leg can do the same. Again, staying here if it feels good. If you feel like taking a knees to chest, rock, rock, whatever feels best for you. We are going to make our way onto our belly. So the next posture we are going to do is called Sphinx or Seal. It's a back bend. So feel free to not use the wall. You can just use your mat and lay on your stomach. I'm going to show you the variation where we put our lower legs against the wall. So taking as much time as you need, we're going to bring those knees so they're at our baseboards, highs down. And from here we are going to bring our forearms down to the floor, making sure that our shoulders are stacked directly above our elbows. So this is a back bend. This is Sphinx with our legs up the wall. So you should be feeling a stretch in your belly. For those of us that are quite mobile, we may not feel a stretch in our belly, but I invite you to try first laying down, squeeze your bum, and then pushing up, noticing if you feel more or less in your low back, going back down, relaxing your bum, and then pushing up. Just see what feels best for you. Another option we have here, if that's quite hard on your back, is to bring a pillow under our chest for a little extra support. I prefer to use this pose as a relaxation posture rather than stretching. So we are going to be here for approximately 5 minutes because of that. If at any point you need to slowly ease out, walking those hands forward just a little bit, lowering down in our back bend, that's awesome. If you feel like you want more, we can move from our Sphinx and press up into a seal, and then walking our hands closer towards our hips whenever that feels good. All right, so get in a position that's most comfortable for 5 minutes, and I am starting your time now. So in this pose, it's really easy to sink down into our shoulders and just relax. But having good posture is equally as important in building back muscles here. So I know I said that this is a very passive class, but we can also practice things that are really good for our body while being in a passive position. So while we're here, again, just making sure those shoulders are stacked directly above our elbows, and we are going to reach through the crown of the head, so coming up nice and tall, shining that chest forward. So shining that chest forward also means rolling the shoulders back and down the spine. I find when I do this, I start to feel a lot more in my low back. So just try to ease into it, take it where it feels good. And notice here if you're holding any tension in your glutes. If this is intentional, great, keep doing it. If not, see if you can just relax those bum muscles. We have 2 more minutes left, so again, checking in with that posture. One more minute, guys. You're doing awesome. Alright guys, we're going to slowly start moving out of this one. So at first I recommend moving any of your props that you can. Just bringing your head all the way down. And then we're going to rock those feet to the side, coming to lay on our side body. You can use your bicep as a little pillow or a real pillow as a pillow. From here, we are going to come up onto our hands and knees and just move into a child's pose, making sure we're rounding our back after having it in the opposite position. So while we're in our child's pose, just bringing our forehead down to the mat. Awesome job. I am going to get you to come up into a standing position and we are going to do a hamstring opener. So we have a couple options here. First is going to be hurting rhino, which is done standing. So to do so, we're going to get all the way up, adjust any clothing as needed. We are going to bend over while we are a fair distance away from the wall. So I'm about 2 feet from the wall. And I am going to bend over here and then I'm going to walk myself a little bit closer so that my back comes to meet the wall. I like to bring my feet out just a little bit, a little wider than hip distance. And then from here we are just going to dangle. So you have the option to leave your hands there for a little extra support. Or you can cross opposite elbow and opposite hand. So this is option 1 called hurting rhino. We can also do something a little bit easier, which is a forward fold with our bum against the wall. So, with our glutes touching the wall, we are going to walk our feet about the same distance as hurting rhino, so I have about 1.5 feet here, and we are just going to lean over. So, instead of locking out our knees, we want to micro bend. As I said before, it's not incorrect to do this, we just want to protect those knees as much as possible. And from here, again, you have the option to dangle, so bringing opposite elbow and opposite hand, or bringing those hands down to the ground. So choosing whatever variation feels best in your body today. I will tell you that hurting rhino is a lot more intense. So once you are ready, we can begin. We are just going to be here for 2 short minutes as it's quite intense. If you are choosing hurting rhino, really allowing the wall to take on your weight, so pushing into it as much as possible, allowing those legs to relax and simply be used as a kickstand here. One thing I find I do in a forward fold is engage my quads. So see if here you can allow yourself to just relax those legs and really use the wall for support in whatever posture you've chosen. Great job, guys. Just 45 more seconds. You're doing awesome. So you should be feeling a nice big stretch in those hamstrings, probably a little release in your low back. And depending on how you have your head, if you're allowing your head to relax, really indulge in that dangle, you might be feeling a stretch all the way up the spine as well. All right, I'm going to start guiding you out of this, so don't move quite yet. But what we are going to do is bring our hands down to the floor in any position we're in and slowly begin to roll up. I want you to roll up one vertebrae at a time. You can use the wall for a little assistance, keeping that chin all the way down. When we stand, we're going to roll our shoulders back and down the spine, keeping our chin tucked for just a moment. Once any dizziness has passed, we can then allow our head to come all the way up to its normal neutral position. If it feels good to take a baby back bend here, putting those hands in our back pockets and just leaning back. Awesome. So from here we are going to lay back down on our mat, which everyone is probably grateful for after that awesome hamstring stretch. So this will be our last posture, and it is just a simple waterfall. So what I am going to have you do is bring a bolster up against the wall. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can just use the floor, a pillow. I prefer to have my hips elevated a little bit because then I can really allow my legs to float. So you'll see what I mean in just a second. Popping those hips up on our pillow or the mat, and bringing our legs up the wall. We can slowly guide ourselves down. Not so graceful, but that's fine. So really finding a spot where that pillow is comfortable. And what we're going to do is have either our legs up the wall, if this feels good, or we can allow our legs to come up and off just a bit into a floating posture. So whichever one feels best for you. Again, you don't have to use the pillow. I like it, especially if we are floating our legs. I highly recommend. Otherwise, you can use the wall to your liking. If you're using the wall, scooting those glutes as close to the wall as possible. All right, and we're going to be here for 3 minutes. Your time has started. So much like Sphinx or our back bend, I find this to be more of a restorative posture. So really indulging in the sensation of just being here. Allowing ourselves to close our eyes and be in this present moment. All right, great job, guys. If this is comfortable, feel free to hang out here. Otherwise, we are going to bend our knees down so that our feet are touching the wall and slowly roll over to our right hand side, pressing ourselves up into a seated position. Ooh. Great job today, guys. I want to thank you for practicing with me. The Light in Me honors, loves, and respects the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. If you enjoyed this class, feel free to like and subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram or on Facebook at Haig Yoga RD, and that is where I will be posting live videos and photos and all that fun stuff if you're interested in more yoga. You have some chair yoga to look forward to, so that is intended for people with arthritis, maybe a little bit older, or somebody who just simply wants to try something new. It's a really awesome alternative to give us some support within our yoga practice. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you feel relaxed and comfortable and are staying healthy. See ya!